All right, I'm Jody Myman. I'm the Emergency Management Director here for Louisville and Jefferson County. I've also got Charles Park from the Mega Cavern and John Walzak, the Director of the Louisville Zoo as well. So you're here obviously because we found something about 8:30 this morning. The Louisville Zoo on their normal walk around determined that they had a very large sinkhole that was not present yesterday. They started to make notifications. They notified emergency management very shortly after that. We responded. One of the bigger concerns that we had was if there was any utilities in the area. And so we've got Louisville Water, MSD, and LG&E on the scene as well. And they're determining, at this time, we don't think that there's anything affected, but they are determining if there is, if it's further out or there's any issues further out, that we will we'll look at that. Obviously, they were in contact before I arrived with the Mega Cavern. They detected some type of activity through noise monitoring that they have, and per their SOP, they shut down the Mega Cavern today until some inspectors could get on site and actually go into the area, both the unoccupied and occupied area, to see if there was anything that happened. So first off, nobody was hurt. No human beings were in the area. No animals were in the area. This is a completely unoccupied area of the zoo, which is obviously a good thing. The only thing close to here is the railway, the train that goes through the zoo. We've had the membership of the zoo has been checking that to see if there's anything out there. We've had the police helicopter flying over to get air surveillance, so we're evaluating that as well. We're overlaying map to see exactly where the Mega Cavern may touch this. Right now we believe it's in an completely unoccupied area of the Mega Cavern. They've got two different sections, obviously occupied and unoccupied, so that we firmly believe it's in the unoccupied area. Currently we've got their geoengineer on site, and they are doing a complete walkthrough of the Louisville Mega Cavern as we speak, with the Louisville Fire Department's heavy urban search and rescue team to evaluate if there's any damage in there. So right now, like I said, they're currently doing it as we speak, and we haven't got any feedback from them as of yet. The zoo is closed today. They did have two people on site. They were stopped because of the tornado drill that was this morning, so they never got very far inside of the gates. And then once they determined that this was an issue, the zoo closed for today, and both the Mega Cavern and the zoo will remain closed until the further that we get into the Mega Cavern and see what kind of, if there's any damage inside of there or around this area. We're working from the inside out to see if there's any kind of damage. So like I said, we've got geoengineers that are on the scene, and they're inspecting underneath us as we do this press conference. So with that, I'll entertain any questions for any of the three of us.
Are you kind of talk to us about where the sinkhole is in proximity to the Mega Cavern and the zoo? Like, how big is it?
Right now, it's right here, right behind us. I know some of your helicopters have been flying over, so you may be able to answer that a little bit better.
Sure. So it's definitely, we believe it's definitely unoccupied. It's right either at the Louisville Zoo property line and at our property line. We believe it's at the intersection of those two, but we won't know further until we get our geotechnical engineers coming.
Do you guys think this is in relation to the earthquake that happened in Tennessee last night?
We can't answer that yet. I mean, obviously that's that's being evaluated to see if that could have potentially done this, or there's some other natural occurrence that could have done it. So what we tried to get the people that are actually inspecting it to do is they're going to go to the spot underneath where we think that the sinkhole has formed, and then they're going to work backwards, and to see if there's any damage in relation, exactly to where we're underneath.
Could you explain again how large
It's about 50 yards wide by about 85 yards long. That's completely estimated as well.
Say that again if you wouldn't mind.
85 yards long by 50 yards wide. And like I said, there's nothing, we haven't been able to measure it. That's completely estimated. Just from looking in from the top and looking at the video surveillance that we've got, it could be 50 feet, potentially larger or deeper in some areas. It could be, from the potential rain that we've got, runoff. It could be, something naturally that was occurring underground. It could be the earthquake that happened yesterday. There's several different things that they're looking at.
Our primary objective here is safety for the mega caverns and for the zoo. So we're going to let all the engineers do their work, and we'll make that determination when they say it's safe. Until that time, we're going to be closed. Right now, our priority is safety. It's always our number one priority, so that's what we're going to do. We're letting all the engineers, surface engineers, mining engineers are on site right now doing a complete investigation, so that will determine when we reopen.
And is it safe for people living in the area?
Right now, the area was right behind us, and we're focused on that, and the engineers will help us with that determination.
How do you fix something like this?
We're going to wait for the engineers. That's my expertise is animals and zoos. I'm sorry, I couldn't tell you exactly how we could fix it, but we're going to rely on the geotechnical, the mining engineers, get all their expertise, and we'll have to take that one step at a time.
Obviously, this happened overnight at some point.
We discovered it this morning, as Jody mentioned. And by the way, I'd like to say I can't thank Director Myman and Charles Park, all of the metro agencies responding. This has been, safety has been the utmost concern of everybody involved, and everybody did a phenomenal job. Your question again?
Did it happen overnight?
It was discovered by our staff first thing this morning, and Charles, you had an indication of that.
We believe it happened
deal.
anywhere between. We believe it happened anywhere between. We're not exactly sure, but probably anywhere between 11 to 2 in the morning.
Talk a little bit about that earthquake. Was that a massive size, magnitude, or something that could have been felt here in Kentucky?
According to USGS, it was felt in Kentucky, so as our standard SOP, we automatically close the Louisville Mega Cavern, and then we have our mining engineers come by, and it wasn't until the zoo informed us of the sinkhole, so our mining engineers were en route.
Was there any damage in the sea because of the earthquake?
I can't speak to that.
Would you guys have probably closed anyway because of the earthquake yesterday, even if the sinkhole wasn't found?
That's correct. That's exactly what I was saying, is that because there was an earthquake in Maynard, Tennessee, our standing operating procedure is to actually close the cavern and to make sure that our mining engineers give us all clear.
So what was the reaction when you found out, or you were closing out of precautionary, and then you have a sinkhole?
Obviously, it was a surprise, but the Louisville Zoo, I can't speak to them enough. They've been great partners in this. We're going to be working together to make sure that we have the safety of all of our patrons and all of our guests. And I can't speak enough about Director Jody here. He's been phenomenal.
That equipment that you guys used I think you said you heard something, and that indicated that something was going on. Talk about the details of that and how you were able to find out that it was actually there.
So it wasn't technically equipment. We were replacing zip lines, and our people heard it. They contacted me.
What did they hear exactly?
They just heard a noise.
Like a cracking?
I would have to speak to them further about it. I just got here, and well, we enacted our SOP.
So when I said technical sound equipment, it was the human ear that they heard. So that was good. Something too, also that both groups did on my way here was they did notify all of the neighbors, of what was going on here, and been in contact with them as well. So we'll evaluate further. We expect to get back with you probably by at least 5 o'clock. We'll let you know if we're going to do a live press. Or just send you a press release, depending on probably what we find inside with that recon that's going on right now. You never know. It's an act of nature, and you just never know, and that's why we've got it. You can see it taped off behind us, and then we took the extra precaution to send those collapse rescue experts in with the mining expert. To take a look at some of the things that were going on or potentially going on inside of the mega cavern.
How dangerous is this for the people that you have assessing what's going on down there?
It always could be dangerous. I mean, you never know when something else may happen, that may shift or or if there's water running that we can't see, or anything's a possibility. And that's why, like I said, we put people in the proper protective equipment to go in and evaluate that situation. Right now, no, it's limited to the area behind me. Like I said, and we've got the utility companies that are continuously on the scene. They're monitoring their system, through technology. They haven't seen any adverse effects for anything like this, or for what's going on. So, like I said, we've got everybody on site that we need, and can continually evaluate the situation throughout the day. And like I said, we'll get back with you guys, sometime before 5 o'clock.
And our mic kind of cut out in the beginning, but can you reiterate how no one was injured, whether
Yes.
humans or animals?
Yes, no one was injured. No animals were in the vicinity of this. Like I said, the zoo found it. Their personnel found it on their morning walks or morning evaluations, and immediately reported it. The area was evacuated from anybody else to get in there. But yes, nobody was in the area when it happened. Nobody was hurt. No animals were affected as well.
And could one of you talk to the importance of those morning walks too? Why it's important to kind of do that routine? It's not every day you find a sinkhole.
Well, it's all due diligence with the mega caverns. Your zoo is staffed 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. We're always monitoring every aspect of it. Of course, foremost for the animal safety and public safety. So we patrol the zoo constantly, 24 hours a day.
How close are we to the animals, to the sinkhole, to the first animal?
Well, it's across a service road, across the train tracks, and then there's several more feet of a buffer area, and then there's the guanaco enclosure, which is approximately, I'd say, about 100 plus feet.
The what enclosure, sorry?
Guanaco, they're a wild version of a llama.
It's been happened before in the past that you're aware of a sinkhole.
We have had, where we've had a pool leak, we've had much smaller versions of a sinkhole, but nothing this large.
And when you said 100 plus feet, that's from the sinkhole to.
From the edge of the sinkhole approximately to where the outer fence would be for that enclosure. It's a big enclosure. It's in our South American area. That's it's an acre plus enclosure, so it's a big space.